Whether you're a seasoned connoisseur or, just enjoy a glass now and then, you've probably noticed something. Something quietly revolutionary bubbling up in the world of wine.
No.
For centuries, I mean, the glass bottle has been this almost sacred guardian of wine. We all know the ritual, right?
Oh, absolutely. That pop of the cork.
Exactly. The pop, the careful pour, even just holding the bottle, reading the label, connecting with its story. It's deeply ingrained.
It really is.
But get ready for a pretty significant shift, because that tradition is meeting some seriously exciting innovation. We're seeing this quiet revolution in how wine actually gets to your glass.
Or not your glass.
Right. Or increasingly to your can, or maybe your box. So our mission today on the deep dive is to unpack why this shift is happening.
Yeah.
We'll explore these new packaging options, what they are, and probably most importantly, what all these changes mean for the quality, the enjoyment, and maybe the very future of wine for you. Think of this as your shortcut, your way to understand this evolving industry without having to wade through tons of articles yourself.
It's definitely a timely topic. And it's true. The glass bottle, it's been the unquestionable guardian for centuries. And for really good reasons.
Like what, specifically?
Well, its chemical inertness. That basically means the glass itself doesn't affect the wine's flavor or aroma.
Okay.
It's also incredibly resistant to internal pressure. That's absolutely crucial for sparkling wines, obviously. Keeps everything intact.
Right, no exploding bottles.
Exactly. And maybe the biggest one for fine wines, it's minimal oxygen permeability. It lets in just a tiny, tiny bit of air over time.
Ah, the microoxygenation thing.
Precisely. That allows for that slow, controlled aging process, letting those complex, secondary and tertiary aromas develop. Think spices, leather, that kind of thing.
So, okay, you've got all those advantages, this long storied history.
Yeah.
Why on earth would we even consider moving away from such a classic? Where are the cracks starting to show? I mean, beyond just dropping a bottle, which I've definitely done.
Haven't we all? But yeah, despite its legacy, glass has some pretty significant downsides that are becoming harder to ignore.
Okay.
First, it's heavy, intrinsically heavy, and that dramatically drives up transport costs. And consequently, the carbon footprint of the whole wine industry, it takes a lot of energy to move all that weight around.
Makes sense.
Second, fragility. It breaks. That leads to losses, damages during shipping, storage. It's a constant logistical headache.
Right.
Third, the energy needed to make it. It's considerable. From mining the raw materials to the super high temperatures needed to melt it all down. And finally, something you touched on earlier, those rituals.
The corkscrew, the decanter.
Exactly, the corkscrew. Decanting, meeting specific glasses. Sometimes that can act as a bit of a cultural barrier.
How so?
Well, it can seem intimidating maybe to newer or younger consumers who might be looking for something simpler, more direct, less formal.
Interesting point.
So the real push for change, the impetus, it's largely driven by two big forces. One is this growing concern for sustainability.
Yeah, that's huge now.
Massively. I mean, just as an example, a bag-in-box can be up to 70% lighter than the same amount of wine in glass bottles. That drastically cuts carbon emissions.
Wow, 70%.
Yeah. And second, there's this new generation of consumers. They often prioritize practicality, convenience, and environmental responsibility, maybe more than strict adherence to tradition.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. And speaking of practicality, let's dive into something that feels really revolutionary and maybe surprisingly practical. Wine in a can.
Ah, yes, the can.
Now, I have to admit, my first reaction, and I think a lot of listeners might feel this too, is, associating cans with soda or beer. Maybe even like lower quality stuff.
Sure, that's the historical baggage.
But suddenly we're seeing wine in cans popping up everywhere. Picnics, poolside. It's really challenging our ideas about convenience and quality. It's surprising, but it's definitely getting popular.
It is. And the technology behind canned wine, it's actually advanced significantly to make sure the quality is there.
How does that work? Doesn't the metal affect the taste?
That's the common fear.
Yeah.
But modern cans have an inert polymer internal coating. Think epoxy or special resins.
Okay.
This coating acts as a complete, impenetrable protective barrier. It stops any chemical reaction between the aluminum and the wine, so it preserves the taste and smell.
Got it. So no tinny taste.
Exactly. And crucially, the canning process itself is done very carefully in a low-oxygen environment.
Why is that important?
Well, oxygen is one of wine's biggest enemies, especially for freshness. Limiting oxygen during canning keeps it vibrant. Plus, the can's hermetic seal is amazing. It completely blocks both oxygen and UV light.
Ah, light too. I forget about that.
Yeah, light strike is a real problem.
Uh,
But the can provides total protection. Oxygen and UV light, honestly, they're two of the biggest threats to wine quality.
it's great to hear the tech is solid, that it addresses those key issues about preservation. But I still think that initial skepticism is like the biggest hurdle.
Definitely.
How do we really get past that deep-seated idea that cans just mean lower quality? Are people still resistant? Is there any truth to those fears for maybe certain types of wine?
That prejudice is absolutely the main challenge. It's a valid question.
Mm.
But that perception is shifting, and quite rapidly.
Why now?
Well, partly it's younger consumers being more open to new things.
Right.
Also, think about the craft beer movement.
Ah, good point. They really embraced can.
They totally did. They made the can a symbol of quality and innovation, not cheapness. That definitely paved the way. And critically, we're now seeing really premium producers getting involved.
For who?
Wineries from Napa Valley, from Côte de Provence in France, places known for high-quality wine. They're putting good wine in cans now.
So that lends credibility.
Huge credibility. Their involvement is demystifying the format, showing that the can is just a vessel, doesn't dictate the quality inside. The key thing to grasp here is that cans are fantastic for wines meant for immediate, vibrant enjoyment. Wines where freshness, that primary fruit, that refreshing acidity are key.
So not for aging.
Definitely not for aging. Think sparkling wines Espion-Beldies. The seal is perfect for keeping that fizz and freshness. Great for single servings, like a little toast.
Yeah.
Light whites, too. Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Grigio, Vinho Verde. They keep those crisp, citrusy, herbaceous notes perfectly because they're totally protected from light and oxygen.
Makes sense for those styles.
And rosés. They're delicate fruit, that vibrant acidity. Perfect for casual outdoor drinking. Plus, they get cold really fast in a can.
That's a bonus. And it's not just the tech, right? The marketing and branding seem to be playing a big role in changing minds, too.
Oh, absolutely. Some brands have been incredibly smart. Look at Lovin Wine in Brazil.
What do they do?
They specifically targeted young urban women with these brilliant digital marketing campaigns. They showed wine could be enjoyed without all the formal rituals. They sold a lifestyle, really, making it more accessible. Then in Oregon, you have Underwood with that memorable Pinkies Down slogan.
Yeah, I like that.
Right, directly challenging that stuffy wine formality with a playful, approachable vibe.
Yeah.
And then there's Nomadica. It was founded by sommelier Kristen Olszewski. They've really pushed canned wine into the high-end space, like high gastronomy, premium selections, really cool artistic labels.
Wow.
They're proving quality and art can absolutely live inside a can.
Yeah.
They're all showing that the wrapper, well, it doesn't define what's inside.
Okay, so cans are about portability, individual servings, freshness. Let's shift gears to another smart, sustainable option that's really catching on for daily use and bigger gatherings. The bag-in-box, or BIB.
Ah, the BIB, yes.
This feels like it's becoming a real staple in many homes and for events.
It really is. The bag-in-box concept is pretty innovative and incredibly functional. You've got a flexible bag, often polyethylene, sometimes metallized, holding the wine.
Right.
That bag sits inside a cardboard box, mostly for structure and protection.
Yeah.
But the truly ingenious part is the valve, the tap.
How does that work differently?
Well, think about opening a bottle. The moment you pull the cork, air hits the wine. With a BIB, as you dispense wine through the tap, the bag inside collapses on itself.
Ah, so it creates a vacuum?
Exactly. It creates a vacuum that stops oxygen from getting to the remaining wine. This is the game changer. It lets the wine stay fresh for weeks, sometimes even months after you first open it. Way longer than an open bottle.
Weeks, months. That's amazing.
It is. And the advantages stack up. It's usually more cost-effective, more wine for your money, super practical, no corkscrew needed, easy to pour.
Mm-hmm.
Storage and transport are way more efficient because it's lighter and less bulky than glass.
Mm-hmm.
And a big one again, the carbon footprint can be up to 5 times less than glass.
5 times. Wow. But are there limitations?
Yes, a crucial one. Bibes are not suitable for aging wine. That bag, while great at keeping oxygen out after opening, still allows a tiny bit of oxygen transfer over the long term. It's more permeable than glass, so it prevents that really slow, complex evolution needed for cellaring. Bibes are designed for young, fresh wines meant to be enjoyed for their primary fruit and vibrancy.
That consistency of freshness, though, that sounds like a host's dream. So knowing its strengths, where are bibes best used, and how should we, best enjoy them?
Well, for optimal enjoyment, serving temperature is still key, just like with bottled wine.
Right.
And using a proper glass definitely helps release the aromas. But the fantastic part is that stability. The flavor, the freshness, it stays consistent from the first glass right down to the last.
No more, oh, should I open another bottle just for one glass situations?
Exactly. So they're perfect for parties, events, or just daily home consumption where you might only want a glass or two at a time.
And food pairings?
Sure. Red bibs often work great with, say, hearty pasta sauces, a good bolognese, or grilled meats. Perfect for a barbecue.
Nice. Are there standout brands here too?
Definitely seeing more success stories. Faben in Brazil, they really pioneered the market there, educating people about the antioxidant benefit, building that trust. Lalo in the UK is doing beautiful premium beeves that are winning awards, showing it's not just about value.
Okay.
And even really established producers are getting in on it, like Vidigal Wines in Portugal, with their super popular Porta 6 Red now in B, or Miolo in Brazil. It shows mainstream acceptance.
So we've covered cans and bag-in-box pretty well, but the world of alternative wine packaging, it seems even broader. Can we quickly touch on a couple others? Maybe plastic bottles and steel kegs?
Absolutely. Let's start with PT bottles. It's polyethylene terephthalate.
Right, plastic bottles.
Yeah. Their big advantage is extreme lightness. They weigh maybe only 10% of a glass bottle.
Wow.
And they're highly break resistant.
Yeah.
So think festivals, pools, boats, stadiums, places where glass is often banned or just inconvenient.
Safety aspect.
Exactly. They're also highly recyclable. Like cans, they're best suited for quick consumption wines, things not meant for aging. They definitely fill a niche for safety and convenience.
Okay. And what about the professional side? You mentioned kegs. How are restaurants and bars using those?
Right. Steel kegs are mainly for the on-trade. Restaurants, bars, event venues, they offer huge benefits there.
Such as?
Sustainability, for one. A standard 20-liter keg holds the equivalent of about 26 bottles.
26.
Yeah. So that drastically cuts down on glass waste, packaging, and the carbon footprint of transport. Plus, the kegs themselves are reusable, often for decades.
And efficiency.
Huge efficiency gains. Wine is dispensed under pressure using an inert gas, like nitrogen. This means fast, continuous service, which frees up staff time.
And the quality holds up.
It does. That inert gas protects the wine from oxygen from the first pour to the last. It maintains freshness consistently, often for months after being tapped. It's a win for sustainability, efficiency, and quality in high-volume places.
Okay, this is fascinating. We've talked convenience, sustainability, but now let's get into something really interesting. How the container itself actually shapes the wine's taste, its aroma, its evolution.
Yes.
It's not just a passive holder, right? It actually interacts with the wine.
Precisely. The packaging choice has a profound impact on the sensory journey, as you put it. We can look at three critical factors: oxygenation, luminosity, and temperature.
All right, break those down for us. Oxygenation first.
Okay, oxygenation. We touched on this, but let's compare. The can, with its totally hermetic seal, creates what's called a micro-reduction environment.
Meaning almost no oxygen.
Virtually none, which is fantastic for preserving those bright primary fruit aromas and the overall vibrancy in young wines meant to be drunk fresh.
Okay.
Glass bottles with corks, especially natural corks, allow for that controlled micro-oxygenation over years. That tiny, slow ingress of air is essential for developing complex tertiary aromas, spice, leather, tobacco, and softening the wine's texture as it ages.
So good for aging wines?
Essential for fine aging wines. Then the BYB, its magic is preventing oxygen getting in after you open it thanks to the collapsing bag. So it keeps the wine fresh much longer than an open bottle, but it's not providing the environment for long-term aging before opening like glass cork can.
Got it. What about luminosity or light?
Ah, light. Even dark-colored glass doesn't offer complete protection from UV light. And UV light can cause light strike. The French call it goût de lumière, taste of light.
What does that taste like? Is it bad?
Oh, it's definitely bad. It leads to these really unpleasant sulfurous notes. Think rotten egg, burnt rubber, sometimes even cooked cabbage.
Yikes.
Yeah. Whites and sparkling wines are especially vulnerable. But cans and beeves, they offer a total barrier against UV rays, complete blackout.
So no risk of light strike there?
None at all. It preserves the wine's aromatic and gustative integrity perfectly from light damage.
Okay, and the third factor, temperature.
Temperature.
Yeah.
Cans and beeves, being metal and plastic foil respectively, have much higher thermal conductivity than glass.
Meaning they change temperature faster?
Exactly. They chill down much, much faster, and they tend to maintain that cool temperature more effectively, especially the can. This is a huge practical advantage for whites, rosés, sparklings,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're outdoors or want a cold drink quickly.
Yeah, waiting for a bottle to chill can be agony sometimes.
Huh. Right, so that quick chilling is a real plus.
So the proof is in the pudding, as they say. Or I guess in the glass or
Yeah.
can or box. What happens when you do blind tastings, when you take away the visual cues, the packaging prejudice?
Right, the blind tasting.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate unbiased judge.
Right.
And what's fascinating is that wines from cans or beeves often positively surprise tasters.
Really?
Yeah, their freshness, their vivacity, the purity of those primary food aromas. Sometimes they even outperform their bottled counterparts, especially if the bottled wine wasn't intended for aging anyway.
Interesting.
It really hammers home the point. The true quality of the wine lies in the liquid itself, not the wrapper it comes in. When you remove that visual bias, these formats often shine for what they're designed to do, deliver fresh, vibrant wine.
So, okay, putting this all together, what does this mean for us, the wine lovers? And maybe for the experts, the sommeliers who guide us through this increasingly diverse wine world, how does their role change?
It means the sommelier's role is definitely evolving.
Mhm.
They're not just describers of wine anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We're increasingly becoming agents of education, you could say,
Yeah.
ambassadors for innovation, and demystifiers of these ingrained prejudices we've been talking about.
So more teaching involved.
Absolutely. We need to clearly explain the environmental benefits, that lower carbon footprint, the high recyclability of aluminum and PD. We need to highlight the economic advantages, lower transport costs, less waste from breakage,
And the practical stuff, too.
and the practical benefits. The safety, no glass shards at the pool, the sheer convenience for different occasions, picnics, hiking, travel.
Mm.
It's also really crucial that we actively combat that mistaken idea that non-traditional packaging automatically equals lower quality.
Right, breaking that link.
Exactly. We need to emphasize that the packaging choice is strategic. It's chosen to preserve the quality best suited for a specific consumption style or occasion.
Mm-hmm.
Our expertise is also vital in curating the good stuff, selecting high-quality wines that are genuinely suited to these formats. That reinforces the message that excellence and innovation can and do coexist.
So building trust.
Building trust and knowledge.
Mhm.
Assuring consumers that this modernization, it enriches the wine experience. It doesn't compromise it. It just offers more options.
Mm.
If you connect it to the bigger picture, this whole shift is about embracing sustainability, making logistics more efficient, and just adapting to how people live today.
Yeah.
The sommelier in this new landscape really becomes this indispensable bridge,
Mm.
connecting that millennial tradition of winemaking with smart, modern technological innovation.
Mm.
It's about opening up the world of wine, making it more accessible, more enjoyable, without sacrificing its essence or quality.
Wow. What an incredible deep dive into, well, the changing shape of wine. We've seen that this evolution, it's really not a threat to the tradition we love, the glass bottle.
Not at all.
It's more like an exciting expansion. It's making wine more accessible, definitely more sustainable, and ultimately more enjoyable in, well, just more moments of our lives.
Well put.
So this kind of leaves an important question for you, our listener.
Yeah.
Next time you're reaching for something refreshing, would you maybe consider that chilled rosé in a can? Or grab a bag and box for your next family gathering? The future of wine looks pretty diverse, definitely more inclusive, and above all, it still sounds delicious.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive.
My pleasure.
Until next time.